Your turn.
Zach's the kind who prefers to laze around his apartment on a weekend, especially after having a busy week like the last one. The big guy's nowhere in sight, though when I arrive in his unit. Figures. People don't seem to be where they should be when I need them. Looking around, I find no sign where he might have gone to. He usually leaves a note on his fridge, if he's out for the day, just in case someone drops by.
Someone.
Mm-hmm. As there isn't one, he probably went out for a quick walk. I hope.
Was this the day he went to the church?
The church? No. He went to the church long before the, party.
Well, I don't remember anymore. I don't remember him going... Oh. Yeah. I don't remember him... Oh, he's at the park.
Yeah, he meets... at the park.
Look at her pajamas. There's little rams on them. Look at...
That's them showing up. And that's right, he gets home and we're there.
Oh yeah, in the apartment already.
Yeah. So he's gonna show up and we're gonna have a really unhelpful discussion with him, I think.
Yeah, because they never said anything.
Yeah. He is out of eggs after all. You're going through his fridge. Puts my running mind to rest for a while. He always has to have some, be it for an omelet or something he's baking.
Ash, should you be rummaging around? It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Chill, I'm just looking.
Actually, I could also go for a fucking pie right now, but Zach's fridge is next to empty, save for a few leftovers. Who goes for... I could go for a fucking pie, you know? Alright. All I can do is sigh as I close it behind me.
If you see me take anything, feel free to call the police.
Ah. Isabel is quick to shoot me a sharp glare, and another chuckle slips from me despite the unease in my stomach. Oh, he's gonna eat the potato chips and Zach's gonna be pissed at him, that's right. But the cheer only lasts a mere few seconds, mostly because she hasn't been in the mood for any sort of friendly banter. It's a silence that's telling. And a quiet Isabella? It's usually the first recipe for an incoming shitstorm.
Do you always do this whenever you visit another person's house? Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
Just with Zach.
I'm still worried for our friend, of course, and despite what's bothering Isabella, she's anxious too. She's been standing by the door for a few good minutes now, since we entered Zach's place, in fact. Doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. But much as I want to put her at ease, her nervous tics are starting to get to me. The manner in which she makes herself smaller, the way she fidgets with her hands, clasping them one moment and unfurling in the next. It's distracting enough that I want to ask what's wrong. I doubt she'll give me a straight answer though, and the best I can do is help her temper it.
You don't have to hang around the door. You might be here for a while. You can sit down.
She hesitates for a second, but eventually takes the empty seat by Zach's study table.
Aren't we going to look for him?
Sure, we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxburn's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and...
I trail off, making a vague gesture in the general direction of Zach's bed. The messy bed suggests he was out in a hurry. He didn't even bother to fold the sheets. His cell phones have been left behind as well. Another odd thing when he has made it a habit to never leave it behind in case a client calls.
At least the locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit.
That seems to reassure her, but not so much. Understandable, anything might happen. In hindsight, we shouldn't have left Rebecca alone too. In hindsight, I shouldn't have left Rebecca alone too. We'll have to check on... Okay! Yeah, thanks. In the meantime, Zach... But with no other clue where he is and no other way to contact him, we have no choice but to wait. Sure, I could give the room another run through, though. another thorough run through, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upending his place. Isabella won't let me do that either, besides. I haven't eaten anything yet. Isabella probably hasn't too.
Isabella.
We did leave in a hurry. Might as well take this chance to cool down a bit, right? Anything to distract myself so that I don't just charge head first because of whatever paranoid scheme that comes to mind. Isabella with me. I can't be reckless.
Yangs. It's a little ram.
There's potato chip branded pajamas. Actually, I think that's the company's logo that made the game. So that makes sense. Returning to the kitchen, the first thing I see is a bag of chips when I raffle through his cupboards. Another muttering of permission and apology its owner won't hear. I grab it. Isabella doesn't miss shooting me another glare, but she doesn't really make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores my offer for food, though.
Delicious, crispy, guaranteed.
Where does it say that?
The bottom right of the bag.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what?
What? So instead, I set myself on Zach's old couch, turn on the television. Isabella's silence may not be too heavy, but it sure as hell is awkward. Screen lights up. Right as some awful noontime drama starts airing on at Channel 9. Nothing like sitting in front of the TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away the time. And waste it away we do. The afternoon has hit its last few hours when movement comes from the other side of the door, and Zach's heavy treads breaks the monotonous drivel from the TV. The lock clicks, the knob turns, and slowly it swings open to reveal a very exhausted looking Zach. What, did he run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Light as my tone might be, his arrival eases the restless edge in me. Who knows what I would have done if something bad had happened to one of my friends. If another minute had gone by without showing up, I might have resorted to unconventional methods.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
It's scary how the friendly banter and easy smile come naturally. I do it, even without thinking, and that speaks volumes about how comfortable I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? What makes me afraid of it, however, is the idea that a time might come where I might just do it without even meaning to offend him in some way. The friendship we have might be closer than most I've shared with others, but there are boundaries you can't cross without the other's permission.
I never noticed Zach has a little facial hair on his chin. You see that?
Oh, he does. I never really paid attention to it, but he does. Zach's been respectful of that so far, neither asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me? I'd bet he'd say not so much. It's also this easy banter that makes me wish we could just stay like this. No worries, no problems, just potato chips, and the debate on whether or not I deserve them. But as usual, something always cuts moments like this short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did
It
you
is
at
the
least share
weekend.
some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Although her tone forces him to do a double take, Zach doesn't push it. The question's all too clear in his eyes when he glances my way, though. I really wish I could answer him. Despite my best efforts, Isabel's been unforthcoming as well. What am I supposed to do? I can't just force her to speak, can I? She's not a criminal to be interrogated. She's a friend, for Pete's sake. It's a good thing Zach has a better handle of the situation than I, and soon enough he changes the subject. Where it leads to isn't necessarily the better topic, however.
Aye? Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
She stumbles into one of her uncertain silences again before glancing my way. There's a plea in there for me to take the lead on this, but where do we start? The mansion? The strange things we've been seeing? The letter? Even I'm afraid of what he might say. I can't even believe I'm considering taking a deeper look into this whole thing in the first place, but here I am.
Please don't tell me something happened again.
No, nothing. None so far. And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
We don't know that. Let me...
Sometimes I amaze myself how much I try for her. But what else can I offer her? I was the first one who brushed her off. We've all been given our warnings that day, in that desperate pleading tone of hers, and I just stood there judging her. This is the least I can do. Perhaps even make up for all those other times I've hurt her.
Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Good, I guess. Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
As expected, Zach starts to look at me like I've grown a second head. Yeah, I would too. If there was ever a universe where I was standing in front of myself. Because even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. The lucky charms and mystical objects from my mother have often been stored away or given as paltry gifts to those who would appreciate them more.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
Granted, I haven't eliminated every single possibility here yet, but what else is there to go on from here? The word "look" Zach shoots my way doesn't help one bit in helping me gather my thoughts either, when it's what I came here for. Somehow, everyone's just so worried about me. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
And along with Isabella's warnings, what's occurring around Zach, what's happening around Luxburn since Isabella found the letter.
Have you two seen the news this morning?
Zach's puzzled expression is enough answer. Of course he hasn't. Another night, another nightmare. The guy most likely went out as soon as he got out of bed to shake the images off. The memories have never really left him. Isabella, though.
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
That could easily mean anything. Did Kuya, her older brother, end up in jail again? She's had to bail him out numerous times in the past, though all that did was piss her off, not sap out every ounce of cheer in her. Or is it that the other brother, the younger one who keeps insisting that he'll quit school so he could come home? Oh, she could come home. Okay. That was 2 years ago, as far as I know. She already sorted that one out. It couldn't have been her father, right? With the mansion's sale, she'll have earned enough to cover every bill for a while. It should. So what is it then?
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Whatever's bugging her, I doubt it's something meant for casual discussion, else she would have mentioned it sooner. Tucking my curiosity for later, I take the remote and begin cycling through the channels. A distraction. Not a good one, I admit, but it's definitely better than leaving her to brood. Eventually, I find one doing a recap of this morning's reports. And there it is. The poor guy is unidentifiable with how badly his body's been burnt. Man burned after room catches fire. Another victim by the insolent butcher? Help me! Murder via arson? That'd be the logical explanation if I was the officer looking into it. Except, they couldn't find a source of the fire. The fire didn't even spread.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
They're going to consider spontaneous human combustion soon enough if they don't find anything else. But what's important for everyone to note is the state of the room.
A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Like what happened to Cooper. Hell, I wonder how many other deaths like this I've missed while I've been looking into right. The LPD's already thinking it's a serial killer at this point. How long until they consult with the London Metropolitan, I'm not sure. The Anselm Butcher has always been an enigma, even to the people within this city. Gone for a few years, then in the next, one body after another is found. Merely handling the case has apparently driven the chief inspector insane years ago. He never did find out who committed those murders. Maybe now, this time.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
Her words all come out like a whisper, but each syllable lingers in the air, heavy with her guilt. In the thick tension of the room, they strike harsher than any of the things we've said. However, she also has to know that she isn't the one. She isn't the only one. On this, no one has asked her to take this upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. I sure as hell won't.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this. I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Encouragements aside, this is still a whole fucking mess, and we're in it blind. The only way to make it worse is if we start running around like a bunch of headless chickens. Yeah, it's a shame that's what everyone that's died has been doing. But I have a concrete plan now, I think. Maybe Isabella's right. Maybe we should dig deeper into BRC itself. Maybe we are looking at it the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. The details are something Zach doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's enough that he's aware that I have an idea in mind. For his part, Z-Man doesn't push it, and nothing but a heavy silence leads our departure hours later. Seriously, Zach would probably make a more responsible officer than me if he only had the heart to join the force. We could certainly use more kind people like him. But as good as that thought is, I push all of it in the back of my mind as Isabella and I head for my car. Tonight, I can't stay distracted.